Howdy folks, and welcome to this Let's Play of Stellaris, which we're playing as the Plantoid species, the Genvious Empire. My name is Sonelias, and hopefully you'll enjoy this 66th episode of this series. Alright, so at the end of the last session, we'd actually liberated 2 planets. So we'd concluded the war with the species down here, which is now become a vassal of mine. So this was part of one of the fallen empires. We now got control of their space. Well, not direct control, but indirect control through the fact that we made them into a vassal. Which leads us to a position where we have actually had a chance to declare another party a rival of ours. This other fallen empire down here. The Warlike Ascendancy. So at the moment my different fleets are all in different positions. I'm just going to basically make sure I basically get them up to the latest technology at the moment. I've got some construction ships ready and I'm going to send them out to actually build some wormhole stations in the various different systems. They're a vassal of mine now, so I actually got access to their systems, which should hopefully help me get a few extra wormhole stations in place. In addition to that, I will also be looking at placing extra ones in some of my other vassals' systems. That system there I cannot access. This one here I can't. Can I access this one? No, I can't access this one. I do believe I can access this one here though. And this is really near the front line of where I want to basically have my next war going forth. The Warlike Ascendancy. Yet the last, I think that's the last fallen empire we got in our galaxy here. Yep, it does look like it. The last fallen empire. Now these guys here are currently one of my vassals, so that's good. I will probably want to liberate or give a couple of planets to them. Yep, I want to just make sure I got all of my ships close to the front line. I believe this one already is. It's not where it should be, I guess, maybe. But at least if I placed in orbit around this planet here, it will be shortly. Upgrade that to the latest or the highest possible level. And of course, I'm already building solar panels here, so that's perfectly fine. So let's get the clock running in the meantime. Let's have a look at our technological progress. Border range will increase by 10% in about 3 months' time. Other technologies are slightly further off. Communication from the Warlike Empire. Foolish Genvious, the lack of respect you show for your elders will be your undoing. Prostrate yourself before us and beg our forgiveness, and we may refrain from annihilating your witless little empire. Well, I'm not sure how little we are, but no, we will not be bullied. Thank you though. Appreciate the offer. So these guys are another one of my vassals already. The Vivizandi Confederation. Okay. Perfect. Now let's collapse that for just a second. I've got additional ones at my disposal here. Just gonna embark those as well. I want to merge them all into one larger army, which I can then utilize for the purpose of liberating extra planets and so forth. Okay, gonna be merging all of those. Okay, so this one is, I believe, still in orbit. Well, I was hoping it was in orbit, but it's not apparently, as you can see. This base itself should have been upgraded. It's not apparently. So what are we going to build here? I guess I'm going to be focusing on getting a crew quarters and an engineering bay here. Research was completed, so our border range has increased. Clone armies can be unlocked. So we haven't got any clone armies yet, so I think that will be my next bit of focus. Takes about 44 months, as you can see at the moment. But that time frame might shift in a little bit. Let's have another look at the clock here. So this one is currently in orbit of this planet here. This one's en route. This one's already in orbit here. So as you can see, lots of fleet ships are in orbit here, which is good. Alright, let's have a look at the actual areas here. So if I were to look at this one here, so that's the factions. I don't want to look at the factions, I want to look at the sectors. So this sector here, it's got various different planets already within its range. Just expanding that range slightly and closing those borders again. Actually, that lies within my borders now as well. That's interesting. It didn't before. So let's build some mining outposts there. So it looks like we have just pushed some of the borders that we had back slightly. Which should hopefully give us access to some additional planets here, if we're lucky enough. Like for example that one there.
System survey complete.
Anything else? Well, there is another planet here where we can build some mining. I'm not sure why that is without the relevant mining. Research. What else can we build here? That's just across the border from us, so that's not going to help us. Again, checking these borders here, just making sure that nothing new is actually available that I actually haven't used yet. It doesn't look like that's the case here, so perfect. Good. Ah yes, there is another research station I can build here. Still integrating one of my vessels at the moment. Okay, non-aggression pact between a couple of different species, which is perfectly fine. So this fleet here, I might want to maybe move it into a position here already. I'm pretty sure I had sent a ship over here, but I haven't seen it yet.
System survey complete.
Let's just double check these systems here as well for potential extra wormholes that we can place. Again, getting into orbit of some of these. Negative balance, it says, which okay. Let's have a brief look at the policies that we could potentially enact. So look at the different policies. Grand Fleet is already one of them. There's nothing on there that basically allows me to say, well, I want to keep anything else changed. One policy I didn't look at. So leader enhancements. Interesting. Careful reproduce planning should be incentivized lest we waste valuable genetic. Interesting. We will not be able to change our stance on this for 10 years. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Will be more expensive, but they'll get an additional lifespan. Should be good. Voting rights, elitism, resettlement. Whether or not we are allowed to forcibly relocate population. Okay, migration, primary species only, native enlightenment allowed, unrestricted, first contact protocol is aggressive. Yep, I can live with that. Alright, let's make sure all of our different units are ready to actually play ball here. So this fleet is currently located up there, which is okay, but not really great. So let's try to get into a position around one of the planets that we actually have control over. Okay. Alright, our ships are moving at this point. Increase the game speed to the maximum. One of the things I do want to do as well is actually move my invasionary fleets towards the front line, or at least closer to the front line. I'm actually going to be placing them in orbit of this planet here. As you can see, that's going to be a little bit of a jump. Nothing major. But any little bit that we can actually get done will help. Our energy is slowly still dropping. Let's see what we can do in terms of upgrades. Over here we can of course build a solar panel. Crew quarters, engineering bay,
survey complete.
Synchronized defense. And of course we should be able to build a level 6 on here. On the surface itself, there's nothing that we can actually upgrade on here, it looks like. Now, one of the things we got here is a power hub, power plant. How are we doing food-wise? We've got a shortage of food. Let's get rid of that one here and replace that with a food production facility. One of the things I will do want to do, that's a frontier clinic, which will increase the habitability. What kind of planet is it? The rainforest. I will want to change that and replace that with something else. I will want to replace that with, for example, this one here. Negative income. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Actually, no, I don't want to replace it with that. I'm going to cancel that. I want to basically replace it with a food production facility, which is this one here. And I want to replace this mine
System survey complete.
with, of course, that combat simulator. And this mine here I want to replace with the symbol of unity. Let's have a look at the other planets here that were part of our space. Virtual combat arena. Happiness is at 60%. It's not great, but yeah, it's doable, I guess. This one here, if I want to replace that with anything else, what could I replace it with? There's nothing really in line here that helps me make my people more happy. That's an interesting one. Increase social conformity. Yeah, well, let's go and give that a go. That'll be an interesting one. Bit let's have a look. What is that? That is okay. On this planet here, we can of course build additional power plants, as you can see. Explosives, planetary shield. None of those actually give anything to do with happiness. No, I think we're going to leave it as it is for the moment being. Science ship here has completed its mission, it looks like. So everybody look around here. Surveying extra systems here. Done relatively simply. Anything else? I think we got most of them already. There's still a few systems that we haven't surveyed. I think that will do the trick for the moment. Alright, let's declare war upon these guys here. So we're going to declare war, and then basically these guys here, they should be given access to some extra systems. So we're going to ask them to seed planets here in Vermilon and Derelis. Vermilon and Derelis. Okay. War score of 16 at the moment. Parobim. Add that to that mix. Yeah, that would look like an interesting one to get. And then we're going to be liberating a couple of planets here as well. Let's say I'm going to liberate Nishpan. Spiram. Fangur. And Quep. Which one next? Holdebano? Holdebano. And we still got this one here. Okay, so we're going to basically remove one of them. Which one's the cheapest? Let's remove this one from the mix. Brings us up to 90. Alright, that should do the trick. Let's propose this and let's see how our actual allies in the Confederacy will agree or disagree with that one. Cool. War was declared. Let's get into these individual systems here. With, of course, as much of our fleet as we can muster. Interesting. Population of a particular faction is getting to be... Okay, I don't see any effects listed here, so it is a long list of different factions. That's okay. System to support these guys here. I think it's a good idea to actually support our allies.
Hostile fleet engaged.
So we're engaging them.
Log
Transport
updated.
ships.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Looks like they were taken out relatively
Hostile
quickly.
fleet engaged.
And our fleets have started to engage the enemy here.
Hostile fleet engaged.
which should have some interesting consequences shortly.
Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated.
Let's have a brief look at our leaderships. Sorry, leaderships are in here.
Situation log updated.
We could add an extra leader to here if we wanted to.
System survey
Which is
complete.
nice to see.
Situation log updated. Hostile fleet engaged. System survey
Right.
complete. Hostile fleet engaged. Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated. Situation log
An
updated.
outpost. Okay. Our fleet is engaging.
Situation log updated. Hostile fleet engaged. Construction complete.
Okay, let's actually research the different projects in this system here.
Hostile fleet engaged. Situation log updated.
Cool. That looks like a bit of an overkill here for this system here, but
Situation log updated.
that's fine.
Situation log updated.
Let's just keep an eye on what's going on in the rest of the system here.
Situation log updated.
So we're engaging
Hostile
these
fleet
vessels here.
engaged.
And even though we're just at the start of the war, we're already 25%
Situation
here.
log updated.
It's not bad, I would say. Enemy vessels have
Situation
been
log
sighted in
updated.
our own space here. Is that our own space? In reality,
System survey
it's
complete.
allied space, or space that we have basically gone into.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Interesting.
Hostile fleet engaged.
We're basically seeing how these enemy battle cruisers, not battleships, but battle cruisers, are being
Hostile
obliterated
fleet
in
engaged.
pretty much no time whatsoever.
Situation log updated.
And that's
Debris
pretty much the end of them.
Situation log updated.
Alright, research being completed here. Let's have a look at what else we can do. We're not going to go for that jump drive because of course that leads to some unfortunate consequences. But there's nothing stopping us, for example, from taking that green shard thrower,
Hostile fleet engaged.
finishing the research on that. Look at that.
Situation log
Even though
updated.
none of these ships really
Hostile
have
fleet
any offensive
engaged.
weapons, they're still circling around it, bizarrely enough.
Debris analyzed.
we took
Situation
those
log
out.
updated.
Extra dimensional weaponry. Okay. Outpost was destroyed here. Look at that surface though, there's hardly anyone on the surface in terms of armies, or at least in terms of people. Orbital bombardment is taking place.
System survey complete.
We are invading, and the invasion
Enemy
is
planet
over pretty
secure.
much in no time at all. Right, let's break off our, at least a bunch of our battleships. Right, that's done. So this fleet here can now move on to the next system here, really. At this point, really what we should have done, we should have really built a wormhole station here already. Which would have allowed us to really get into the nitty-gritty details. Why doesn't that...
Hostile fleet engaged.
Ah, there are different FTL types. So what kind of FTL drives do these employ? Wormhole modulator?
Hostile fleet engaged.
Wormhole modulator. I don't see what's the issue there really, but okay.
Hostile fleet engaged.
It's not really the best, but we are losing here some of our fleet units there, unfortunately.
Evading hostile fleet. Situation log updated. Research complete.
Okay, we did manage to take him out.
Hostile fleet engaged.
Didn't take
Situation
too long.
log updated.
Research being completed on the clone armies. Amobi Flagret.
Research complete.
Rare technology. Subconscious interface with organic units. Morphogenetic field mastery. Okay. Let's go for the army health. And let's set this one to be... Let's just go for the blue shard throwers. Let's try that again.
Engaged.
I don't want you to evade, I want you to be passive, which should more than suffice. There's another fleet that has come in here, it looks like. This fleet here is getting ready to detach.
Research complete.
Armor has been researched. Let's go on to the next one. Let's go for the ship hull points. Okay. Anyways, looking at the clock, I think it's about time for us to call it a day. So what I'll do, I'm gonna basically exit the game, and I will say I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's session, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.